we will start the second practice set of the second chapter, a real number. In that second practice set, the first question is that to show root 2 is the irrational number. The question is that root 2 is the irrational number. We know that root 2 is a which kind of the number, but according to the question, we will be sure that root 2 is a irrational number. In that second chapter, a real number, we learn the definition of the rational number, and according to that definitions, we can try to prove it root 2 is a irrational number. So, in the answer, we will be consider then, suppose root 2 is the irrational number. Suppose root 2 is the irrational number. Okay, if root 2 is a rational number, so according to the definition of the rational number, according to the definition of the rational number, in the definition of the rational number, we will be seeing the rational number are indicated in a form of P upon Q. So therefore, root 2 is equal to P upon Q. Because of, we will be consider then root 2 is a rational number. And according to the definition of the rational number, root 2 is equal to P by Q. So in that equations, we will be see then it is the left hand side, and in that left hand side root 2, and this is the right hand side, and in that right hand side P by Q. In that equations, we will be think about in a left hand side 4 and the root 2 are show the multiplication in between them, and when 4 are goes to the right hand side, at that time they are goes to the position of the denominator. So therefore root 2 is equal to P upon 4Q. Root 2 is equal to P upon 4Q. Okay, in that equations, we get the new equation. In that equation, we will be get the left hand side and the right hand side. So in that equations, we will be consider about the left hand side and the right hand side. Now, in LHS, root 2. The root 2 is the non-perfect square number. Root 2 is the non-perfect square number. Why? Because of we are never show the perfect square root of the root 2, and that is why we will be say about it. It is the irrational number. According to the definition of the irrational numbers, we will be saying when we are never show the perfect square root of the any one number, that number we will be say about it. It is the irrational number. So root 2 is the non-perfect square number. So therefore root 2 is the irrational number. Therefore root 2 is the irrational number. Now, in RHS. Now, in RHS. RHS is the P upon 4Q. According to the definition of the rational number, P and Q both are the integers. Therefore, P belongs to integers and Q is also belongs to integers. According to the definition of the rational number, P belongs to integers and Q is also belongs to integers, and that 4 is also the integers, and 4 is also belongs to integers. That means in a right hand side all the component is the integers, and therefore P by 4Q is the rational number. P by 4Q is the rational number. So this is root 2 is equal to 4 P upon 4Q in that left hand side, and this is the right hand side, is not equal to each other. Root 2 is equal to P by 4Q. When we will be solve them, we can say about them LHS is the irrational number and RHS is the rational number. That means LHS is not equal to RHS. That means our assumption, we will be consider them 4 root 2 is a rational number. That our assumption is a totally wrong in one. That means 4 root 2 is not a rational number. Means 4 root 2 is the irrational number. So therefore our assumption is wrong. Therefore 4 root 2 is the irrational number. 4 root 2 is the irrational number. Why 4 root 2 is the irrational number? When we will be solve that equations, and in that equations we will be see that LHS is not equal to RHS. In that equation LHS and RHS is not get equalized to each other, and that is why our assumption is totally wrong. 4 root 2 is a rational number, and therefore we can be prove it 4 root 2 is the irrational number. In the second question is that 3 plus root 5 is an irrational number. We can be proof that 3 plus root 5 is an irrational number. It is totally same as the previous one, but in that previous one we will be seeing the 4 and the root 2 are show the multiplication in between them, and in here we will be seeing the addition in between 3 and root 5, and we will be solve like the same procedure for the previous questions. Suppose 3 plus root 5 is a rational number. 3 plus root 5 is a rational number. So according to the definition of rational number, according to the definition of rational number, according to the definition of rational number, 3 plus root 5 is equal to P by Q. 3 plus root 5 is equal to P by Q. So in the left hand side 3 plus root 5 and at the right hand side P by Q. So in the left hand side 3 are get added. That means they have shown the addition sign, and when they have go to the left hand side, the sign can be get convert and they have show the negative sign. So therefore root 5 is equal to P by Q minus 3. Root 5 is equal to P by Q minus 3. We will consider that it is the equation number 1. So in that equation number 1, we will be see there are two sides. This is the left hand side, root 5, and this is the right hand side, P by Q minus 3. We are again dividing the left hand side and the right hand side. So therefore, in LHS, root 5, we will never say about the perfect square root number of the root 5. That means root 5 is the non-perfect square number. Root 5 is the non-perfect square number. Therefore, root 5 is the irrational number. Root 5 is the irrational number. In first equation, the root 5, that means LHS show the irrational number on them. Now we will think about the right hand side. Now, in RHS that means P by Q minus 3. P by Q minus 3. P by Q, P and Q both are the integers. So therefore, P is belongs to integers and Q is also belongs to the integers. And minus 3 is also the integers, and minus 3 is also belongs to the integers. That means all are the integers, P, Q and minus 3, all are the integers, and according to the definition of the rational numbers, we can be proved that P by Q minus 3 is the rational number. So therefore, P by Q minus 3 is the rational number. And we know that when the addition and the subtraction can take place between two rational numbers, we will be see the answer will be rational number. That means P by Q minus 3, that subtraction show the rational number, and therefore P by Q minus 3 is the rational number and minus 5 is the irrational number. So according to the equation 1, according to the equation 1, LHS minus 5 is the irrational number and P by Q minus 3 is the rational number. That means LHS and RHS is not equal to each other. According to the equation 1, LHS is not equal to RHS. That means again our assumption is a wrong one. We will be considering 3 plus root 5 is the rational number. So therefore our assumption is wrong. So therefore 3 plus root 5 is the irrational number. We can be again prove that 3 plus root 5 is the irrational number. In a third question, we can study about in a previous 8th standard how can represent the irrational number on a number line? The third question is that to represent the number root 5 and root 10 on a number line. To represent the number root 5 and root 10 on a number line. How we can be represent that irrational number on a number line? You will study about in a previous standard. But in that standard, we also study about them, and to use the same procedure, same method like the previous one, the root 5 and root 10. So we can be indicate that a number on a number line. So first of all, we will be draw a one line. On that line, we get a one starting point in here, and the position of that point, that means the coordinate of that point is the 0. We get the next coordinate according to the definition of the number line. According to the definition of the number line, we get the next coordinate, and after the next coordinate, they have shown the unit distance in between them, and according to that definitions, we will be get the all coordinate on that number lines by to the unit distance from one to each other. In your notebook, you will be get from your own positions or own your notebook size. In that blackboard, we will be get the 5 centimeter distance from one to each other, each and every coordinate. We get one. This is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then, how we can be draw on that number line, or to show the position of the root 5 and root 10 on that number line? We know them. The position of the root 5 is totally after the position of the root 4, and root 4, that means it is the perfect square number, and the perfect square number, the square root of the root 4 is the 2. That means the root 5 is after the next of the position of the 2. So in that 2, we will be draw a one perpendicular by using the protector. We will be draw a perpendicular by using the protector onto the 2, coordinate 2. So this is the perpendicular we will be draw on a number line to the coordinate 2. On that ray shows the 90-degree angles on a coordinate 2. On that ray, we will be get the distance between coordinate between 1 and 2. How much distance you will be take on your notebook? That distance you will be take on that perpendicular ray. We will get the 5 centimeter distance. So again we will get the 5 centimeter distance on that ray. And we get a one new point. We get a one new point on that ray. And then by using the scale, we will be joined that point and the starting 0. Why? We will be joined that point and the starting 0 by using the scale. Then in that diagram, we get a one right angle triangle. If we have given the name A, that point B, and this is the position C. So in that triangle we get the ABC is the right angle triangle. In figure we get triangle ABC. So this is the right angle triangle. We know the position of that is the 1 unit, and this is the position of the length of that AB is the 1 unit, and the length of the BC is the 2 unit. Why we will get the 2 unit? Because of we get the every coordinate from above from one to other is a unit distance, and that is why we get the 1 unit and we get the 2 unit. That means the distance between it is the 1 unit and the previous one is the 2 unit. That means 1 plus 1 is the 2 unit. That is why 1 unit and the 2 unit. So in triangle ABC, in figure we get triangle ABC by theorem of Pythagoras. By theorem of Pythagoras, AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square. AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square. Put down the values of AB and BC. AC square is equal to, what is the value of AB? 1. The square of 1 plus, what is the value of BC? Is the 2. The square of 2. Therefore, AC square is equal to, what is the square of 1? Is the 1 plus, what is the square of 2? Is the 4. Therefore, AC square is equal to 4 plus 1 is the 5. By taking square root, therefore AC is equal to root 5. The length of the AC is the root 5. So we can be indicate the position of the root 5 on that number line. So how we can be indicate them? So you will be get the compass. You will be get the compass and take in that the distance in that compass is the length of the AC. That means putting down that pointed end of the compass to the point C and take the distance of the A. Take the distance of the A, and then after that you will be draw a one arc which is goes to the point A like this way, and that ray are intersect to that line, at which point that point is the position of the root 5 on a number line. That point are show the position of the root 5 on a number line. So in this way we will be indicate the position of the root 5 on a number line. After the position of the root 10. So the root 10, the previous number of the root 10 is the root 9. 9 is a perfect square root number. The square root of the 9 is the 3. That means we have again drawn a perpendicular to the coordinate 3. They have shown the 90-degree angle by using the protractor. That 90-degree angles, that means we will be draw the one perpendicular. So that perpendicular is can be shown the 90-degree angles. We get the same distance, the 5 centimeter. 5 centimeter distance in that point. We get a one new point in that perpendicular. That perpendicular can show the position of the P, Q and the point O. O and P can be get joined by using the scale. So we get the PQC is the right angle triangle. In figure, triangle PQC is the right angle triangle. So in that right angle triangle, by using the theorem of Pythagoras, PC square is equal to PQ square plus QC square. The distance of the QC is the 1, 2 and the 3 unit, and it is the 1 unit. So is the 1 square plus 3 square. What is the square of 1? 1 plus what is the square of 3 is a 9. So therefore PC square is equal to 10 by taking square root. PC is equal to root 10. The length of the PC is the root 10. We have again by using the compass putting down the pointed end to the C and take the distance of the PC in the compass, and then you will be draw a one arc. That arc is goes to the point P and which is intersect to that line, at which point that point is the position of root 10 on that number line. So in this way we will be draw the root 5 and the root 10 on that number line. Root 5 and root 10 both are the irrational numbers, and that irrational numbers are get indicate the position of that irrational number on a number line from that way, and you will be studying them all them in a previous 8th standard. In a question number 4, the two rational numbers are given 0.3 and minus 0.5. In that two rational numbers, we will be find the any three rational numbers in between them. So how we can we find the any three rational numbers in between 0.3 and minus 0.5? First, you will be remember them. In between 0.3 and minus 0.5, there are infinite rational numbers are get available, and in that infinite numbers we will be find just only the any one 3. So how we can find them? Let us discuss about more in details the rational number 0.3 and minus 0.5. Suppose A is equal to 0.3 and B is equal to minus 0.5. These are the two rational numbers, and in between them x is the first rational numbers. X is the first rational number. Okay, how we can we find out the any one number between the two numbers? It is a simple method. When we can find out the average of that two numbers, then we get the between numbers in that between two numbers. So we can find out the average of the A and the B, and then we get the value of the x. That means when we can find out the average of the point 0.3 and minus 0.5, then we will be get the first rational numbers in between them. So therefore x is equal to a plus b upon 2. X is equal to a plus b upon 2. Therefore x is equal to, what is the value of a? Is the 0.3 plus, in bracket, what is the value of b? Is the minus 0.5 upon 2. So therefore x is equal to 0.3 plus minus 0.5 upon 2. Therefore x is equal to 0.3 minus 0.5. Who is the greater one? 0.3 or the 0.5? Obviously 0.5 is the greater one, and they have shown the minus sign. That means answer will also show the minus sign. What is the subtraction between 0.5 and the 0.3? Is a 0.2. That means the subtraction between 0.3 and the 0.5 is the 0.2. Answer will be minus 0.2. Therefore x is equal to, in that division the one number shows the minus sign. So according to the method of division process of the integers, according to the division process of the integers, the any one number shows the negative sign, the answer will be show the negative sign. So the 2 ones are 2, 2 ones are 2. That means the answer will be minus 0.1. So the first rational number in between 0.3 and the minus 0.5 is the 0.1. So we get, therefore 0.3 comma minus 0.1 comma minus 0.5. These three numbers, that means minus 0.1 is the first rational number in between them. Now A is equal to 0.3 and B is equal to minus 0.1. A is equal to 0.3 and B is equal to minus 0.1. Y is the second rational number. Y is the second rational number. So therefore y is equal to a plus b upon 2. Therefore y is equal to, what is the value of a? Is the 0.3 plus, what is the value of b? Is the minus 0.1 upon 2. Therefore y is equal to 0.3 minus 0.1 upon 2. So therefore y is equal to 0.3 minus 0.1. 0.3 is the greater one and 0.1 is the smaller one. The subtraction can take place in between them, and that is why 0.3 minus 0.1, the answer will be 0.2 upon 2. Therefore, y is equal to 2 ones are 2. The answer will be 0.1. So therefore, we get the number is the 0.3, 0.1, minus 0.1 and minus 0.3. These two is the new numbers in between 0.3 and minus 0.5. Again, we can find out the third rational numbers in between them. We can find out the third rational number in between them. Now, a is equal to minus 0.1 and b is equal to minus 0.5. Z is the third rational number. Z is the third rational number. So therefore, Z is equal to a plus b upon 2. Therefore, Z is equal to, what is the value of a? Is the minus 0.1. What is the value of b? Is minus 0.5 upon 2. Therefore, Z is equal to, both are show the negative sign, minus 0.1 and minus 0.5. The addition can take place in between them, and the 0.5 is the greater one. They have shown the negative sign. That is why answer will also show the negative sign. The addition between 0.1 and 0.5 is the 0.6 upon 2. The answer will be minus 0.6 upon 2. Therefore, Z is equal to minus 0.2. 2 ones are 2 and 2 threes are 6. So the answer will be minus 0.3. So therefore, the number will be 0.3, 0.1, minus 0.1, minus 0.3 and minus 0.5. These three are the rational numbers in between 0.3 and the 0.5.